Kailani and Sam? Or is it Kailani, Melvin, and Sam? We got a catfish trifecta. We got a Man and Joe 3. Stay tuned. Let's get it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Juniors to seniors, we upgraded.
This song always has me in my feelings, you know?
And this show had a lot of people in their feels. So this was a great song.
This is true.
It's a great song. Sometimes we just come out with greatness when we're not even trying. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Season 6 Catfish Remix, Episode 8. Kailani and Sam, Kailani and Melvin, Melvin and Sam. It's just a whole big hodgepodge, Man and Joe 3. I'm your boy, Chaos J. You know where to find me on Twitter. Chaos_Oceans31 on Instagram. 31 flavors of waviness, but I can't do this alone. Dynamic duo in the building. My other half. What is going on?
What's up? What's going on, everybody? I'm Olivia Gabaree. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, The Real OG.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, this episode, we've got what starts out with Melvin and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Melvin and Sam. Both from California, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because Sam's from Cali as well. He's from Salinas. Mm-hmm. And Melvin's from Menifee. Never been there?
Never.
Don't ask me to point that out on the map, because I can't. All right. Starts out, we've got Melvin, and Melvin meets Sam. And again, let's just get that checklist started, because random message.
Right, and I'm not even sure if we need a checklist for this one because Melvin, you know, after a while, Melvin straight up sold that this guy's fake.
Right. Well, Sam never wanted to video chat, and if they did,
It was in a dark room.
It was in a dark room.
Because his camera was broken.
Or it just, it would cut out. You know, before it could even really get started, it would cut out. And then, you know, he got into a car accident. And in the picture that they showed of Sam with the bruises, completely looked photoshopped.
Do you think it was photoshopped?
Oh, no, all day.
Really?
That was photoshopped.
I guess I didn't see it up close enough.
It was photoshopped, and the only reason I can see it, I can tell, is because I've seen some of the fake news stories where they would talk about, oh, so-and-so got beat up, or so-and-so's on drugs, and you would see this picture of, like, say, Angelina Jolie, and she's just looking all beat down with bruises and all this stuff, and you can just kind of see, like, okay, this is fake, it's clearly not real. And yeah, so, you know, he pops off with I just got in a car accident in bad shape, you know, but then I got on a collared shirt and slacks in this picture.
Yeah,
I'm bruised up. Things didn't add up. Melvin was like, yeah, all right, out with you, got fed up, cut him off. Melvin stops talking to Sam. Then we find out that Sam moves on to
Kylani, which is
like,
so bizarre
really?
to me. I think
this is the first, like that?
Right, this is the first time something like this has happened in Catfish where I really don't have any sympathy for her starting out for this, because if you see that your friend is going through the situation, and being an outsider, it should be obvious to you that it's fake. But the fact that the person in the relationship realized it's fake and you continued on that relationship, come on, the warning signs were there. Somebody went through it for you. You shouldn't make the same mistake twice.
Right. Like, you know, Melvin's telling her, like, yo, like, this dude is not who he says he is. Like, don't keep talking to him. And yet she still did. And I get that she was vulnerable, because we're going to find out later that, you know, she was, you know, recently divorced. She had a real troublesome relationship and marriage. But it's just like, come on, like, if you had all those things, and while I understand you're vulnerable and you may be lonely, like, you should know better.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like you should know better because it seems like she got catfished in her marriage as well.
Low key, she kind of did.
She did. Because, you know, this guy, he was married to her, engaged to somebody else, hitting up all these other women, and straight up just dipped.
Just peaced out.
So, I mean, I think that if I went through all that trouble, I would be very hesitant to trust somebody again. especially someone that
My friend had just finished having a brief online dalliance with, and then had even told me, hey, something's fishy with this person, pun intended, and don't talk to him, don't waste your time. And yet she still did, because she was so in love, and she refused to believe that he was a catfish. And I mean, it was the same ingredients. Video chat was always black, wouldn't connect. And then what's even crazier is that they shared nudes. Like, they compared nudes. Like, he sent nudes to her.
The same.
It was. Like, what more do you need?
I know it's completely bizarre to me, but I mean, I think some people know and they just don't want to know. And I understand that she came out of something rough and troubling and she needed to confide in somebody. So maybe she just truly didn't want to believe it. But the craziest part of it all is the fact that she got a Snapchat with her name on it, which I think, if you wanted to believe it, that would be a good sign in your favor, because unless you're extremely savvy, which I guess apparently there's apps out there now where you can even fake Snapchats, that's a tough one to fake.
It is. And to make it look like it legitimately came from this one account or another account.
But, well, we'll get there. I can't even do that right
Okay, so, it's just, it was, like I said, it was mind-boggling that she refused to believe that, that he was a catfish, and she just ignored all the red flags and all the warnings. And then so as we get to see her meet with Max and Nev, we find out that, she's a divorcee. She got married on her 23rd birthday. Is that correct?
I'm not sure if it's exactly.
She was 23.
Birthday, but she was 23. Yes.
A divorcee. She'd been married for 6 months. I'm getting this guy was a vet, because she said that he had deployed to Australia. Cheated with someone else there. She forgave him and got married, which is big, because usually if you aren't married and you cheat,
you could probably leave.
That's kind of
not really tied down to much.
Not at that point. And they got married anyway, and then she finds out that he was doing dirt in Australia. He had dirt going on in Hawaii. I mean, this dude, and he was engaged.
Cheating, of course, cheating is bad. I would never condone it, but the fact that he's engaged to another woman
while he's married, that's major.
And that's major for Kylani and major for the other chick. How do you not know the man you're engaged to is married to somebody else? Unless she truly did not care.
And then, okay, so who called? Because which girl was it that called Kylani and was like, hey, like, I'm with, I've been with your husband.
Oh, I think because they lived in Hawaii, so I think that one of the women.
Just a random jump off.
Yeah, this was just a side chick.
And then let's not forget, because this guy is a winner, and I kind of secretly wanted to see him on this show, that he had cheated with his best friend's girl.
Yeah.
Like, this dude just.
He had
no boundaries.
He does not give up.
Yeah, none. He gave no F's. Like 0. Like, he should have just had a shirt that says,
we gotta get this dude on Catfish.
What? Exactly.
What
like,
are we doing?
None. And so it's obvious that after going through all of this with her now ex-husband, that she's wounded, and and she just needs to be nurtured and loved, and just she just needs some TLC and just someone to hold her and just make her feel better, and bam.
Whatever, girl. You shouldn't need anybody to make you feel that way.
You make yourself feel better.
You need to make yourself feel that way.
And then once you make yourself feel better, then everything else falls into place. But that's not the case. She then that's when Sam comes into play. Sam breaks the friend zone code. And I don't even want to say code. He just breaks the friend zone barrier. He's just like, hey, look, I love you, girl. I love you.
Straight up.
All them hours we be on the phone, it's because I love you, girl. And she's just like, oh, I think I love you too. And she pretty much just dove headfirst again despite all the red flags and all the warnings. But what I didn't catch the first time I watched it, and I ended up having to rewatch it, was that she actually broke it off with Sam to try and work on her marriage at some point. So, you know, somewhere in that whole mix of drama, she tried to get things to work out, and they didn't. And then that's when she went back to Sam, like, thank you for being here. Like, I missed you.
I think we're just noticing that she has some man troubles.
She has terrible choices when it comes to choosing men, pretty much. So, granted, Sam is all about that life. He loves Kailani, but he doesn't have time. Like, he's always too busy.
Studying.
Another ingredient. Exactly. Studying.
And this
now,
is...
I get it. Studying is important. I have friends that are still in school, but it's like, come on.
24/7.
Right.
And the fact
like
that
you can never take a break.
And they live close to each other, too. It's not like this person lives in a different state or something where it would require days or hours.
Just get creative. Like, yo, let's meet up. I got to study, but let's meet up and we'll hang out for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
like,
maybe I'll
grab a
study. And maybe you can
drink or
help me
something.
study, or maybe I'll just study with you, but we can just be together and, you know, and I'll
Right.
study a little bit so that way I can still do what I got to do, but see you at the same time. Like, it's not that hard if you really want to make things happen.
I mean, nothing's hard when you really want it to happen.
This is very true.
You can make anything work.
This is very true if you want it to. Surprisingly, she tells Sam about Catfish.
Yeah, this was the first, I think.
And when she said that, the first thing that came to my mind was like, okay, this is part of a whole bigger scheme.
Oh, you think?
And that's what I thought was like, oh, this is part of a bigger scheme, and everybody's already in on this, and everybody already knows that, you know, about the whole catfish thing, and this is just you know how people lie so that they can see that person or something like that. Even like Ebony and Jack or
So
Brandon
she
or
was
whatever.
low-key finessing.
Right, that's what I thought was like she was kind of low-key finessing, especially like he didn't get mad. You know, he just kind of pulled back a little, but then she calls him and we get the same line. And it's...
I'm just too busy.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, we always say, well, Catfish has been around so long, like, how do you still fall for these same tricks?
Uh-huh.
But on the flip side, Catfish has been around so long, how are you guys not coming up with better game? Like,
we need some new excuses.
we
in the
need
book.
some new... I have a lot going on right now. If I got paid, I'm not going to specify an amount, but if I got paid for every time a catfisher said, I just have a lot going on right now, I'd be paid. Like,
yeah, no kidding. And it's funny because her friend Marvin, what was his name?
Melvin.
Okay, so Melvin actually said to her, this dude is a catfish. The fact that they're using catfish as a noun or an adjective or a verb, like, it's a word, people. It's very well understood what this whole entire
I want to say,
concept
isn't it in the
entails.
dictionary now?
I'm sure it is. So they're very well aware that this is a possibility and this could be a thing. She hits up Catfish. She's telling Sam that she's hitting up Catfish, and I don't know. And he's still coming up with the same excuse. Like,
I have a lot going on right
you know
now.
we call it
I'm
the
studying.
pros, Sam. Come on, come up with something a little bit better.
Just like, yeah.
We call it the pros in. You can't fool Nev and Max.
You really can't. You really can't. Especially Max. Max
Too
sees
sly for
right
that.
through the bullshit. So, you know, there's I don't know. It's just like she still kind of has a little bit of hope that there's some truth to what she has with Sam, and that, you know, and she wants that. I feel like she wanted that so bad to show her, you know, to prove to herself that love is still possible even after all the crap that she's been through.
Right.
But then we start getting back into the evidence. Max and Eve get on it, and, you know, again, only 15 friends on Facebook.
Yeah, so that should
Really?
be a dead giveaway right
That's
there.
a dead giveaway.
And they're researching the pics. They're Google searching all his photos. Nothing really came up except for the... Can I say?
Go ahead. let them know.
I feel vulgar. Except for the dick pic that obviously was pulled offline.
Bing!
That was the only...
That was...
Well, I mean, they thought it was like fingers, whatever, but
That
was the only
finger.
hint that we got. But which was obviously, I mean, we'll get into it after, but it was obvious that had to be taken from an online profile as well. But what's interesting was, yes, this profile only had 15 friends, so they reached out to all 15 friends, and they actually got feedback from a girl, Adriana, and she had actually gone through a similar situation with Sam. However, once she was played one time, she backed off.
Deuces.
Because she knew.
Right. Well, you know, Sam hits her up. He had met her friend at Pride, and I don't understand how that is your icebreaker to talk to someone else. Like, yeah, hey, I met your friend at Coachella.
Yeah.
So we should talk. No, I don't know you.
Still don't know you.
Either way, Sam must have a little bit of game, because Adriana gave him a little bit of time. They DM'd for a little bit, talked, very flirty, and they were supposed to meet, and then
he stood her up.
And his excuse was, I fell asleep. Are you serious right now?
But yeah, no, she knew it was BS though.
Right, she did. And then she just kind of was like, okay, you know what?
Bye.
Enough with you. Bye, Felicia. So, Max and Eve talk to her. They get the scoop from her. And then we get a surprise call from none other than Dominic.
Dom. Well, how did we come across Dom to begin with?
Well, again, okay, so let's jump back. When they're doing that research and they're looking at pictures, they're doing the reverse lookup. They find
Dom's girlfriend, right? Or a girl that tagged him in a photo.
Right. And then they go back to, and then from there they jump to his actual profile, which is Dominic or Dommy Hilfiger,
which is like Sammy Hilfiger.
Exactly.
So
the exact same. It was like a carbon copy.
Yeah, and it's like this person, Sam, was playing off all of Dom's experiences, all his photos, his profile. Everything. But here's the thing. So we get a call from Dom, and automatically, are you a fool? I'm sorry to say, but the situation that he handed us of, yeah, I got a random DM from a fake profile that asked me to take a like, it just didn't add up, and I'm not understanding how this even became a thing, because I know if someone like that had DM'd me, I'm not taking a photo for you. It's very apparent to me that your profile is fake.
Right.
And I mean, I probably wouldn't even answer, never mind like submit your request over here.
Okay, cool. Let me just snap a selfie and send it to you.
Is that not stupid to
you?
It
was the dumbest thing of life. But again, when I first heard that, I'm thinking like, okay, ex-husband. Oh. That's what I'm thinking, is that this is all just done by the ex-husband because he's trying to get Kylani back.
I didn't even think of that.
Well, it was good because I was clearly wrong.
But from my perspective, it seemed to me, I'm sorry to say, but it just seemed that he truly didn't care about her. So he wasn't even a suspect in my mind, because I figured he wouldn't even take the time to do that.
Right, all the other stuff he'd done, it was like, okay, yeah, he's clearly not thinking anything about Sam. So, and this was random when she said, because I don't remember how this came in the context of everything, but she had admitted that, her husband had never apologized to her. She was really sad about that. And again, the way that was kind of thrown in there was a little random. Either way, Dom FaceTimes with Max and Neve and Kylani. Mm-hmm. So she gets to see that, Sam is not Sam, clearly, because she's talking to Dominic or Dommy Hilfiger, and it's a different person. I mean, it's the same person she's seen visually, but it's a different person. Like, he has no idea who she is. He's never met her and clearly had no time. And again, I can't help but wonder if that would ever happen, where they get to see the person that they thought they were talking to, they weren't talking to, and that person's like, yo, but you low-key, I got some time. Like, hey, girl, like, what's up? Or, hey, boy, like, what's up? I would really love to see that,
though? If someone was using your photos, I think that I would think the other person is a little unintelligent.
Okay, good point. Good point. All right.
I'm sorry
I
to
mean,
say.
yeah. I mean, but then again, we have seen some where they're really good. Like the catfishers, they're on top of their game.
Sometimes it's okay.
Sometimes it's not like this situation. So either way, she sees that it's not really what it is, and it sucks because it's at that point you take a step back and you're like, whoever did this, knowing that she's been through all of these things in the past, it's kind of cruel and unusual punishment.
Oh, 100%.
You know that she's vulnerable. You know she's fragile. So why do that?
Well, at that
why
point, you're
lead
just
her
taking
on to that
advantage.
extent? Exactly. You really are. Either way, we fast forward to the next day. Kai calls Max and Nev, and she's frantic because
Wait, Kai
called Max and Nev because she was frantic because
Sam
was like, "Oh yeah, I'm on my way
to her
over."
house. And this is what's crazy to me. Why does Sam know where you live?
Right, because she didn't even seem like she let on that he knew where she lived.
This is not right to me.
But maybe
you
she
people
did.
need to be more safe on the internet, frankly.
Just giving out all your business.
I get it. I love you. This, that, and the other thing. But like, come on now. You do tend to get lost in the sauce when you have feelings and you're in a relationship, but that should not substitute the fact that you have to have a brain as well.
Right.
You can have a heart, but you
have
need
to be
have a
alert
brain.
and you have to remain vigilant because there are people that are out there to solely deceive you.
Right.
Like that's their sole intent.
This
is
world
just to
is full
deceive
of
you.
predators, people.
Like, come on.
Don't
like,
give out your address. Oh my God. Like, no.
So they speed over there to beat Sam to getting there because at this point, who is Sam?
Right.
Like, who is Sam? And then they get there, they catch Sam, and Sam's getting out the car.
Mm-hmm. I do admire Sam in this way, though, because typically we show up to the catfisher's house and it takes us a couple minutes to get them out. But Sam seems like he was just fed up with this and was like,
Walked
something?
right up.
I'm over this BS. Screw catfish. I'm doing this my own way.
I run this.
Uber right over.
And he didn't even hesitate. As soon as Uber got there, he got out, and they're like, whoa. Walks up, and then, I'll let you take it from here. Just go ahead.
So Sam walks up, and it's very apparent that, obviously, Sam does not have the face of Dom.
Not at all.
What were you kind of thinking in that moment?
Was Sam really 19 years old? Although I kind of got the first meeting, I was like, okay, maybe. Later on, I'm like, I don't know if Sam is exactly 19. Sam might be a little bit older. But then I couldn't help I kept thinking, and I kept thinking to myself, is Sam really Sam? And when I say that Sam really Sam, is like Sam really Sam, the man. Or
Sam had a lot of feminine features.
Right, which he even says in
himself.
high school he was made fun of a lot due to his feminine features.
Right.
And wanted to see if he acted different and more manly, how people would see and accept him.
Exactly. And then my wheels started turning because I noticed that Sam looks a little bit feminine, and then he brought up the fact that people used to pick on him for that. And then I'm thinking, well, you sent 2 different dick pics to 2 different bodies that neither were probably yours.
Why wouldn't you just use the same one? Why wouldn't you just send the same one?
That's
like
foolish.
just recycle that.
So it's very clear that it's fake.
And then I don't know, like I kept looking because even in the hat I was like, Sam got a lot of hair.
Right. It seemed, I don't know, something was just not adding up, but okay, I understand some people just aren't comfortable enough, especially when you're meeting someone for the first time. However, I think if you're going to sit there and dish it, like, you got to dish it all.
Right. So, we get the same tired excuse. I never thought it'd get that far, which I call bullshit, because you didn't think it'd get that far, but of course you had to know it was going to get that far because you keep talking to that person, you keep texting that person, you keep expressing feelings to that person. So it's like, really? Did you really not think it was going to get that far? But he admits he has really strong feelings for her, supposedly. The whole thing with Melvin was just testing the waters, which we didn't even really talk about
Testing it
that.
out.
Which to me, I was like, okay, well, I guess Sam's sexually fluid, because to go from Melvin, who
No, but Sam said
jump
that she
right-
was never. I mean, excuse me. Sam said that he was never interested in men, though.
right,
Which
he
is
was
so
just testing the
weird.
waters. So why? But why? Like,
Why not test it with a female?
right, like. Never once, even in I could be bored to tears. Never once am I just gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna hop on Grindr and just start hitting up dudes.
Well, let me
and
just
let me
what
just
it's
see
like.
what this is like. Not even, and that's not a diss. I
That's
am
a
not
personal
gay,
preference.
so that's not my preference. So why would I even venture into that area if that's not my preference?
It's
And
very
I'm never
bizarre.
gonna act on anything anyway. Why waste my time? But yeah, Melvin was testing the waters. Adriana was just a thing. Which led me to believe that they kind of talked a little bit longer than what I took it as. Because I
and
took it as
Adriana.
like it was just like a 2-3 week type deal.
Right.
But apparently it might have been a little longer.
I mean, and I'm sure that there's more where that came from. If you're willing to do it to 3 people, you're probably willing to do it to way more than 3 people.
Exactamundo. So, of course, we get never meant to hurt her. He really loves her. Blah,
I'm
blah,
getting so
blah.
tired. I really am
check,
tired.
check, right down the list, because we're getting all of the hits today. Cared about her as a friend. In terms of Adriana, nothing compared to Kylani and how his feelings were. Blah, blah, blah. So when I'm watching this, I'm thinking like, either way, this is all bad, and he deserves 0 BODs. No benefit of the doubt at all. Nev sits down to talk to Kylani, and I'm waiting, and I'm like, please don't say you still want to be with this guy. Please don't say you want to be with this guy. She pulls out a cigarette, and I'm like, girl, can I get one? I don't even smoke, and I'm stressed out.
Ahead of that one.
And while she's talking to Nev, he's out there crying, and then I kind of started getting a little soft, and I'm like, oh.
I do feel badly because
right. I was like, maybe he is being sincere.
And because, well, in these circumstances specifically, it's usually because the person is, insecure or not ready to fully be who they want to be. And it's like, okay, you're not really deliberately going out of your way to deceive somebody because you genuinely want something. You just physically can't go about it at that moment.
Right.
So, it's kind of bizarre because I never really pass out BODs, but I'll give like a half.
Right, yeah.
A half a BOD.
Yeah. So with your half and my half, he gets a BOD. Because I was just like, so then I started thinking, well, like, man, if he had just presented himself differently in the first place initially and just been upfront, that she, and with her being vulnerable, she might have given him a fair shot. And by giving him a fair shot, he may not physically had been her type. Although from the blurred photos of her ex-husband, he looked kind of lame. So I fit, and Sam had a little lameish qualities, like a little geekish qualities. So I was like, okay, so they technically should just be right at home. Like
She has the type.
That's her type. Either way, I just felt like, okay, he could have just said, look, this is really me, this is who I am, and maybe he would have gotten that fair chance.
Right.
Just because she was vulnerable, so she was like, okay, she would have been open to him. Something. And this is before I find out that Sam's was going to call Max and Nev and say, hey, I want to talk, I need to clear the air.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh God, what now? What now?
It's always interesting when the catfish actually reaches out and is ready to come clean.
And this was come clean, not with everybody. This was just Max and Nev alone.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Take it from there.
Well, come to find out, Sam's in the middle of transitioning from female to male. I mean, not really.
Yeah, low key. I was like, wow. But then again, I was kind of like, okay, makes sense. Because I was kind of wondering that.
And I was a little bit upset because I feel like it was apparent to everybody in the situation, and the fact that he drew attention to it, and it was sort of the elephant in the room because if you're going to draw attention to it, then obviously there's something a little bit more behind it.
Right.
And you had an opportunity right then and there to come
Right.
clean about it. And then you waited on it.
Instead of doing the whole, in high school,
Yeah.
I had feminine features.
Yeah. Like, that's just dumb.
Shave your pubes off and put them on your face or something. Like, I don't know.
You just had to, I think that, you know, if you're going to do it, you got to
just
do it.
go ahead. Right. And that first day, he could have came clean.
Right. But,
First day.
okay, whatever. It's not easy for everybody.
Right. So we find out Sam is a girl, going through the process of transitioning. Didn't, family wouldn't approve. And what she got from talking to Kylani was that, she was accepted. And she needed that. She needed to be accepted for who she was. Although, at the same time, it's like, yeah, you're kind of being accepted, but you're not really being accepted in the sense of everything you're saying and your personality is real, but who Kylani thinks she's talking to, who she's, developing feelings for, visually is not the same person.
Exactly. So you're still not being accepted, but you're not even giving yourself a chance to be accepted.
So either way, when we talk about BODs, Kailani says that she wants to maintain the friendship, but knows that she's going to need space. And that she wished that, Sam would have been honest earlier on, and Nev came to Sam's defense, which was a little different. I had not
Nev's a softie, though.
But he is. And that's why there's such a good balance with Nev and Max. Because Max is just like, yeah, I call bullshit.
I have such a crush on Nev. He has a baby now, though, so.
Yeah, and a baby mama. So,
and a baby
maybe
mama.
not. I'm sorry.
Maybe
he has
in
a
another
brother.
life. Maybe.
Looks kind of like him. Maybe shorter a little bit. Anyways, so that's where we leave it. Sam comes clean to Kylani, and she's kind of okay with it, and just okay. I wish you'd have told me sooner. And we basically see then and there that it's not going to be anything other than just a friendship because Kylani is strictly blank. We go to the update, and
she's got a man.
She got a man working UPS.
That was kind of weird how she plugged that in there.
Hey, man, plug for UPS.
maybe UPS sponsors Catfish. I don't know.
Maybe.
Out of every quality
or maybe
you
she
could
just
say,
she just felt like that validated him as a man. Like, yeah, he works at UPS.
He's a real person. He has a real job.
Apparently. But yeah, and handles her with care. I loved all the little puns that came after that. You're staying grounded. You know what I'm saying? Marriage isn't a priority. I was like, okay, all right, I get it, guys. Doesn't really talk to Sam anymore, which I guess is for the best. We've seen that it's rare when, the catfisher and the catfishee can maintain a healthy relationship. It happens, but not all the time. We hear from Sam. Sam's studying to be an EMT. She's out to everybody. Happy ending. He's out to everybody. Happy ending for everyone. Blah.
Ta-da!
What are your thoughts?
The end.
Ta-da! Blah.
I don't know. Just a classic Catfish. I'm still waiting for the juice people. Someone out there do something crazy so I can watch it, will you?
Just like we're do
something crazy.
Where we're just blowing each other up like, oh my God, did you see that? Oh my goodness.
I thought this one was going to be crazy because the previews were he's on his way. Let's go.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, it's going to be
that,
good.
and then, it starts off with Melvin, and then Kylani comes in the mix. I'm like, wait, there's another person.
Yes. And they're friends. Like, the concept's great, but the execution was just generic.
Yeah, it just didn't get me this time. It was just like, I was kind of over it, especially once I knew, like, okay, this is really what's going down. And once I saw Sam, I was like, something's not all the way right.
You know what I feel like, though? I think it's more interesting when the other person has no remorse. I know that's like evil.
It is.
And it's not very nice, but it's entertaining. It makes for great TV.
Yeah. It does. When they're like, yeah, I just did it
when
just
you
because.
Really like the person, it's not as, because then we had to feel bad because your emotions are involved.
Right.
But when you just want homeboy to pay your bills, then it's a little funny. I don't know.
So there you have it. We need more drama. We need more juice. We are thirsty, people. Writers, we need more juice. All right. Predictions?
No, I don't have predictions.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV.
I see some tears. I see some lies. I see some nudes, maybe.
Some more nudes. Some heartbreak. Some more creepy, dark video chats.
Yeah.
First off, everything is going to come to a screeching halt if I get a creepy, dark video chat.
I mean, at this point, we're the catfish pros, so try me. Honestly, try me.
Come on. Come on with it.
You know my DM,
like, yeah, for me, as soon as I get that first dark, creepy video chat, unless it's dark and I can still see you because there's some kind of a light or your cell phone light and I can see everything and you're like, yeah, come on over. For me, I would just immediately cut that off. Like, that's not my situation now, but I'm just saying I would just immediately cut that off. Like, no, I'm hanging up the video chat and I'm calling you like, what the fuck is this? What are you doing? Why are you all dark? Did your power get cut off? Oh, your power got cut off? Go outside. Stand under the street light and video chat and FaceTime. Like,
no, I know. Yes, I know.
Stop
you
putting
don't
up with this, people. Stop. Like, we go through these checklists. We know the ingredients. You see the show. You should see. You know the ingredients. I'm too busy. My phone don't work. It is the 21st century. It is 2017.
Honestly, if you can't get in touch with Nev and Max, please just hit us up. I feel like we're the next big thing.
We are the next.
I could probably help you out.
We can work with you. We will meet you in a random coffee shop
and break it down.
We will do all the investigation for you. There you have it. Dynamic duo at your service. Catfish Season 6 remix. It's your boy Chaos J. The one and only.
The real OG.
I mean, what more could you ask for? So, if Nev and Max aren't available, hit us up. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. You have any words?
See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.